Hello and welcome. These are horse racing bets for Friday, the 16th of December. I am Flat Cap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Alright, what have we got? I'm stopping short of saying we're having a little go because I wouldn't quite call it that. But what I will say is Friday is the best day of the week. Given what's already gone on this week, that's not massively saying much, but £25. So we've done a £10 day and a £5 day. I'm actually staking a quarter on Friday. I think that will be more than I will do on Saturday. So it looks like it could be the best day of the week, Friday. I'd be surprised if Saturday beats it. So 4 bets, three lucky 15s, actually not variations, they are 3 lucky 15s, same stake with a couple of singles, and then I've got one combination bet. But the lucky 15s, I've literally done it as one at Southwell, one at Kempton, one at Dundalk. So first race 2:35 Southwell. So it was a later start, and then we're mainly stacked in the evening. And the combination bet's taken a bit of a while to be happy with it, but I'm happy where I've got to now. So that's what's coming up. 4 bets, 25 quid, 2:35 Southwell. Before we do that, we will have a review of today, which will be super quick. And at the end, we'll have a word on the darts. All right, so today, how did we do? Well, there wasn't really much going on, was there? So we had that race was a part of the Foss last meeting that got abandoned because the taps were frozen. So they checked the course out. They liked the course. They didn't check the taps to the last minute. And I mean, I'm just glad nothing was at Chelmsford tonight on the channel. It's just so frustrating. These abandonments are frustrating, but last minute is just really frustrating to the max. And then we had 2 horses running. Capital Blue, terrible. It was out on the wide side. It just was pulling about. It was rubbish. And then Coaxing ran a decent race, but was a neck from placing. That would have meant us got most of our money back. As it was, we got £1 back for a refund for To Be Sure. So 5 on, 1 back. Down £4.60 for the week after 2 days of not really doing much. So Friday, what have we got Friday? We've got a bit of variety in prices, it has to be said. So Southwell, as you can see on this one, one biggie and 3 smallers, and just, I know most people get it, but just as a reminder, just because they are small prices doesn't mean they are more likely to do something and more likely to win or place over that horse there. The strike rate on my channel is that the higher the odds, it doesn't make as much difference as you might imagine in terms of the chances of placing. It doesn't certainly reflect on what the odds are. So Southwell lucky 15, and I've deliberately done them as one on each course, basically, to not so if there is an abandonment at Southwell, because it has got an inspection. The other 2 meetings don't tomorrow, but if that has got an inspection, if it is abandoned, we just lose the bet and it doesn't impact anything else. So 2:35, we've taken it before, and it's just too much of a big price to walk past. It ran terribly last time, but yeah, Hobby 33-1. And then we're going to go the smallies, 4.25 Yoshimi 7s, 4.55 Final Frontier 11-2, 5.25 Thahir 15-2. That may well come in from a price point of view, I should imagine. These, it shouldn't matter too much, I don't think. I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Something like that horse can have a tendency to drift a bit. We'll see. So it's a 20p each way lucky 15 and a 30p each way single and on Ya Hobby. So that is 660 a bet. Sky best for this. Sky best for all bets for the selections. And then for this one, 365 or Coral are your next best. Avoid Paddy Power for Southwell. They are not good at Southwell. Then the Dundalk Special, and it is a bit of one. We've got some prices in there. And so we've got here, starting first leg is probably not the leg that people might expect, but it's not necessarily the race. I mean, the betting market is helpful on this race. It's the horse, Stormy Entry. I like the trainer, I like the jockey, I like the pedigree. It's a bit of an unknown quantity. It's an unraced 2-year-old, but I definitely think it's worth chancing at 40-1. If it comes in the market tomorrow, if it gets backed in, that will be a good sign, definitely. So it's definitely a market sensitive one. So 40s is a great price. If it does get backed in tomorrow, that would, I would say, would be increase our chances of it running well. If it gets left alone in the market tomorrow, that is one where it's well, we'll see. I think it's unlikely to stay big and run well. So it will either get short and run well, or stay big and not run well. Okay, and then into the handicaps. We've got 5:30. We've taken this a few times now. Is That Love? We're going again. 22-1. Then 7:30. Blackstone Cliff 33-1. And then 8 o'clock Anjar 11-1. 20p each way, lucky 15. And we've got a single, 40p each way single on Stormy Entry 40-1. Sky Best, Paddy Next Best, specifically because they're the same place terms as like a 365 or a Coral. But Paddy are the only bookie going 4 places. So if you've got the option, stick your single on at Paddy. If you do it tonight in the UK, you'll get best price guaranteed. In Ireland, you have to wait till the morning to get best price guaranteed for Paddy. But at 40-1, worth putting your single on at Paddy if you've got the option. But the rest of the bet, Sky Bet. That is bet 2. Then bet 3 is the Kempton Lucky 15. So we've got 5:15. This one's Fred 15-2. 7:15 Naval Commander 28s. 7:45 Tiger Bay 17-2. And 8:15. I think that is a Daci or a Dace. I'm not sure. We'll go a Daci or a Dace 10-1. ADACE. That's how we're spelling it. 20p each way, lucky 15. No singles on this one. Sky Best, and then any one of 365 Paddy or Coral, you'll get the same place terms altogether, but Sky are best for place terms. £6 is your bet. That's Kempton. And then the much debated combination bet for tomorrow. First time we've done a combination bet in a while because we've actually got a bit of choice. Okay, it's a little complicated, so hopefully I can explain this nice enough and my colour system is working for you. So we've got the 7:15 Kempton, Naval Commander and Agua Palano, 7:30 Dundalk, Blackstone Cliff and Peppermint Bay, 8 o'clock Dundalk, Anjar and Nevada Brave. So the middle bet there is all of those 6 selections, 8 times 15 pence each way trebles. That's £2.40 for that segment, and that involves all 6. So that's the main chunk, and then there's 2 side bits to it. One side bit here is 4 times 25p each way doubles, and that's on the bottom 2 legs, the Dundalk legs. So you can hopefully see there is a purple circle, if I get my finger right, that matches that one. So that's Blackstone Cliff, Peppermint Bay, Anjar, Nevada Brave, all in your bet slip. They are 4 times 25p each way doubles. And then I added the complication in the last minute, but I think it was the right thing to do. 15p each way Trixie. So on the 3 horses circled green, that's the Trixie, because those 3 aren't in the lucky 15s. So I put them in the combination bet, but I'm also just going to do a little lucky 15. I was originally thinking maybe I'll do more in the trebles, and then I was like, it gets a bit confusing because we've got these. One of these meters, if one of them's dropped out from abandonment, that does make it a bit more complicated. So yeah, that's how we've done it. So we've got doubles on the last 2 legs, trebles on the all 6, and a Trixie on the second horse in each of the 3 races. Sky Best, and then 365 Paddy and Coral only next best because the middle leg on Sky is 5 places, but they are 4 on. But all those bookmakers are 4 on legs 1 and 3. Okay. Hopefully that is clear. Any questions, please ask. Put them in the bets in the comments. And then finally, mention on the darts. The darts start tonight. Hopefully people were pumped and excited. The first match we didn't have any interest in, and it was all right. Second match was absolutely dire. If anyone watched it and lost time of their life, it was a big upset. Grant Sampson, South African player, making his. I'm pretty sure he was making his World Championship debut. He's not someone I've come across. You could have got 8-1, and he beat Keen Barry, but the quality was so bad. So not often you will see in the World Championship. And I'm sorry if you're not into darts. This means nothing to you, but yeah, hit a 77 free dart average and a 22% checkout percentage. That's what Grant Sampson hit. And he still won the match. Unreal. So he's ranked something like 200 in the world, and Keen Barry's like 45 in the world. So that's why Keen Barry was such a short price favourite. I certainly wouldn't have picked Grant Sampson out there, but he didn't win because he had a masterful display. He won because Keane Barry had such a bad match. Grant Sampson was just a little bit better than worse. Yeah, and then importantly, anyway, we've got then had Nathan Rafferty pull a cracking match out, and he won his first round match, so it was an upset. So we've got him in our main sectional bet. The big day tomorrow comes for Nathan Rafferty, but it was a good first round match. It was technically an upset because he was 6-4, second favourite of the match. And as I mentioned yesterday, if you don't like to do a few little accumulators and stuff, he was one that was adding a little bit of value in there. The key thing for Nathan Rafferty is he's back out tomorrow night against Michael Smith, who is a lot of people's fancy for the tournament. He was 8-1 before the tournament started. Nathan Rafferty was 500-1. So there's a big gulf there. So it would be a massive upset if he can beat him. But if he does, suddenly our 40-1 on the sectional bet looks like a really, really tasty price. If he loses, which is expected, we've lost a leg out of our sectional bet. We also, tomorrow night, we've got Bo Greaves making her debut as well. So they're both in the evening. So we've got two of our sectional players both in action tomorrow night. So we could end the night looking like we're in a nice place, a bad place, an okay place. Who knows? I will sort of. I won't necessarily go into massive updates every night in the darts. I think, but if we've got an interest, I will do. But I'm basically seeing there's a number of people who seem to have placed the bet, and a number of people who are excited about the tournament. So that's what I'm kind of I'm going with it really, because I'm into the darts as hopefully I'm sure you can probably work it out by the way I'm talking about it. And I do know some people struggle to put the bet on in the end that I put out, and I think what happened is ultimately it's. What I'm trying to do on this channel, the way I set the channel up is I'm putting bets out, saying Sky Bet, but people put them on with other places and they're in the mainstream market. You can do that even a high volume with multiple accounts and it doesn't get noticed so much. But when I'm putting out a bet that's basically saying you can either do this with Paddy or Betfair, no one else, it's a niche bet in a side market. Basically, the liability on the same selections will clock up, and somewhere in the system at Paddy Power, I should imagine it's flagged as a liability on putting all of these selections together, and therefore it's limited people basically because people saying they could only do it as a 3p lucky 31, which if you've not got a restricted account isn't normal, but it'll be because it's such a niche bet and it's a high value bet too. So even with a small amount of people that would copy the bet, because I think it would be remarkable if anybody else outside of this channel just independently picked those 5 players in that specific bet. I think it's probably flagged the system. So it's difficult. I want to put out more stuff like that next year for certain sports and stuff, because I'm realising that might be the way to go with outside of the horse racing. Do some of the niche bets that I know are worth doing. But the downside is, there might be a level of restriction that gets put in place on them. Anywho, we will see. All right, that is me. I'll leave it there because I'm late tonight. I'll be back. What's tonight? Thursday. I'll be back Saturday morning, won't I? Yeah, because it's not to me yet. I'll be back Saturday morning. As long as the all weather stays on and Chelmsford and Lingfield's on, there will be two videos. So I will be making a video for freebets.com. Which will be out, I would think, before the channel bet. So that will be out, and that will focus primarily on the races on the television. So ITV are going to do coverage from Lingfield and Chelmsford because all the decent racing is gone. So there is ITV coverage. So I'll be covering that for freebets.com and maybe anything else. And then on the main channel we'll see what we're doing, and then we'll try and keep our fingers crossed that Sunday might hold the Irish meetings, because if we've got a couple of Irish jumps meeting on Sunday, it would make the day a bit more interesting, because other than that I think it's just Wolverhampton now. So let's keep our fingers crossed so we don't get a bit of a washout on that one. All right, I think I will finish there. Have a nice evening, have a nice day tomorrow. And let's all be excited when we wake up. It's not freaking -7 like it was this morning when I did the school run. In the last 5 months, I've done a school run in 35-degree heat in the morning and -7. If people don't think global warming's a thing, then you're wrong. So I'm not being an activist. I'm just saying that isn't right. All right. Have a good evening. Bye bye.